This is a lesson I learn over and over and over again. And anytime I'm in trouble, no matter what it is, if it's I'm overwhelmed, something I want, whether I feel stressed about something, what I do is I always go back to state. What does that mean, the power of state? What I've learned over and over again, what we really are all looking for, every one of us, when we're craving something, when we want something, is that we're looking for something that when we achieve it, when we get it, when we have it, we believe that we will have a certain feeling in our bodies. We call it happiness, and there's different patterns of happiness, right? There's happiness that feels like connection, like oxytocin happiness, and there's happiness that it feels like really wonderful and alert, like serotonin happiness. There's different types of chemistry patterns, right, that create different experiences that we call happy or excited or passionate or bliss or relaxed, serene. But the bottom line is, anytime we are in a craving state of being, we're actually looking for uh, the state that we think the experienced person, place, or thing will give us. And not only is reversing this powerful as far as just learning how to feel good without needing something to make you feel good, but what's really cool is every single time I've done this, the very thing I actually wanted that I craved or kept outside of my awareness, I wind up manifesting or bringing it to me. Now, of course, it doesn't just show up. I took action, but it wasn't any conscious action that I took. It was all unconscious. Just like you go to the refrigerator, you don't know how you got there. That's unconscious action. And so 95% of our behavior is roughly automated and unconscious. So the real question is, what's automating our behavior? So this is why state is so important. So let me give you an example of this. Let me start with a simple example, and then I'll give you a profound example of how this works. Um, so I was teaching NLP at HMI, Neuro Linguistic Programming, over the weekend. Not this weekend. This happened. I did last weekend, but a couple of months ago, the last training. And I remember I worked all day Wednesday, I worked all day Thursday, I worked all day Friday, I worked all day Saturday, and I just worked all day Sunday. And it was a lot of work. I was standing for hours and talking for hours and teaching for hours and engaging in processes for hours. And then I said, oh, Monday, tomorrow, I realized Monday I had a very long day. That Monday was going to be another like 10 or 12-hour day. And I went, oh no. I was in the parking lot at work, and I realized all that was happening is that I was projecting tomorrow and all the things I had to do tomorrow in the now, and it was creating stress. So I just imagined I was on vacation. Like I said to myself, I need a vacation. And my body relaxed as if I was on vacation, like I was in, whatever, Cayman Islands or something. And I was in the parking lot of the Cayman Islands. And I took a breath, and then suddenly I had no problem about tomorrow. I was in the moment. I was in this positive state. And I just stayed in the state and stopped getting in my head. And then suddenly it was Monday night, about 9 o'clock the next day, and I felt great. I realized I went through a whole day without worrying about it, without being tired, without being stressed. So that's the importance of state. And we have a tendency to think that life creates states, but really state is what determines our life. And so I'm going to give you a couple examples that are a little bit more profound right now. And hi, Sherry. Sherry's right next door. She's watching. Hi, Sherry. All I do is whenever I'm feeling uncomfortable or in a craving state or an anxious state, hey, Matt, I say to myself, what would have to happen that if it happened, I would have what I want? It's the simplest question. What would have to happen that if it happened, I'd have what I want? And so I just think about that, and I give myself the right to fantasize for a moment that everything I wanted just showed up, whether it be money, recognition, freedom, safety, whatever it is, good news, whatever the thing is. What would have to happen that if it happened, what's up? I would have what I want. And so I close my eyes and just imagine I give myself permission in that moment just to experience, not just to want, but to experience the fantasy as if it's happening now. And the purpose of it is to give myself the permission for just a moment to feel that state. And when I feel a feeling of really ultimately it's appreciation, but there's certain types of appreciation. That's the general feeling of just the thank you. But in that feeling of appreciation, there's a more specific energy patterns of appreciation, like feeling safe, feeling wanted, feeling purposeful, feeling free, feeling grateful, feeling the sense of receiving, abundant, needed, a right to be, whatever it is, it gives you this state. Now, as soon as you get into the state, you drop the image. I mean, I can't stress to you how simple this is and how profound it is. Literally, as soon as you get into the state of the having feeling, you drop the image of what got you into the state and you tell yourself, this is what I do anyway, I tell myself, this state is me. Like, this is all there is. Now, from this, then I look at the world through the lens of a physical experience. Now I can have what's called pure intention and desire, meaning I feel great. I see the world a certain way and I'd like it to look another way. Then I have an image, an intention. I know my outcome, and you can take actions. But as long as you're feeling this feeling, you have what you need inside. So you only want something outside. And that's when a desire and intention feels good. If it doesn't feel good, it's not real pure manifesting or intention or desire. What it is angst, that you're really saying, I don't like the existing state and I wish something outside would change to give me that different state. So once you give yourself the state, you realize any other state you were feeling was just emotional patterns can come and go. Then you give yourself permission to just feel the right to be in that feeling. And you trust it. It took me about, I don't know, I'm a very skeptical person. So it took me about 27 times before I realized, holy cow, I can trust this state more than I can trust my planning, my thinking, my wondering, my hoping, my hard work, anything, because everything stems from that. Because your subconscious knows much more than the brain that remembers the past and projects onto the future. And so just take a couple deep breaths right now. I mean, you probably did it a minute ago, but let's do it again. So take 3 slow, long exhalations. And just imagine all the tension is just draining out of your body. Just draining right out of your body. As if you've opened up valves under the heels of your feet and your fingertips, and all the tension is just draining out. Now, I want you to imagine that what would have to happen, that if it happened, you would feel finally happy, whatever that is, comfortable, happy. And just imagine the scene that would best trigger that emotion exists somewhere forever. And just imagine you're becoming aware of it, meaning you're putting awareness in it and through it and on it. And you're experiencing the scene. So you're relaxed. You're not in a craving. You're completely relaxed and you're enjoying the experience for no other reason but to feel the right to feel that chemistry, that happiness. Now, just pay attention to how you feel. And what you'll start to notice is not only do you feel just the general sense of appreciation, providing you let everything go. That is not this feeling and not this image. Let everything go. Not only will you feel this general sense of appreciation, but you'll actually feel for the first time present, like you have a right to be. And once you have a right to be, what has happened here is that you can now connect to what really is rather than what your brain is projecting is. And ask yourself, if any state can create the future that you want, any state at all, state of being, if any state could create that external version of that internal pattern you just put your awareness on, would it be this state or any other state? If any state could. Second question, would you rather feel this good for the next 6 months or 2 years, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't? Or would you rather not feel this good for the next 2 years or 6 months or whatever? Maybe it happens and maybe it doesn't. Third question, what is more likely going to allow you to enjoy your life and learn from every single moment fully as you get closer to the physical version of that internal image, this state or any other state? Which state is going to allow you to learn more and enjoy the process of life? And then the last question, well, one of the last questions is, why do you really want anything other than the right to be here now feeling this state? This is why you're seeking it, to have the right to feel this state. So maybe the more important question is, what the hell are we holding on to or trying to stop or change, or that stops us from giving us a right to be in this state? What are we holding on to through judgment, through resistance in the stream of life that stops us from just feeling this good now? The very feeling that we think most likely will get us what we want. Doesn't mean you don't take action or not take action or do things or want things. It just means you're doing it from the state and never at the expense of it. So here's the most important question. This is the question that changes my life. Every time I'm in trouble, I've done it over and over again. It always works. Here's the most important question. Would you rather be in this state and no longer need to control life to look a certain way? Or would you rather have that thing show up in the world, for sure, but never feel this state of appreciation, this state of being, and still be filled with fear or angst or sadness or worry? And when you can really answer that question, you've come back home. Because every prayer for something is a prayer to come back home to this state. And from here, there's only desire and intention and preference, and that's what creates your future. Anything else is manipulation, force, angst, unprocessed emotions, unprocessed projections of the past onto the future. It's all nonsense. Okay. I hope that helps. Does anyone have any questions about that? Does anybody have any answers? No? Okay. I'm going to leave soon. And I found over and over and over again that if I stay in this state of what I want and let my body and brain process what is, I get out of the way. No matter what energy I'm feeling, I see it as energy trying to create the physical version of that internal image because I'm in the right state. And all the other energy is just the stream of life coming and going. So I can create it. So my body and brain can create it. When you live there, life becomes a win win win. Is that feeling that you're feeling right now? Hi, Rebecca. That feeling that you're feeling right now, that you all just joined in on, if you just say, I'm going to stay in this feeling, even if I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to, I'm feeling sad, I'm met with a situation that looks completely, is the complete opposite of what I want. As long as you can stay in the state and process the emotion and not leave the state no matter what, you're actually getting closer to it through these moments rather than having these moments determine your reality and then the state of that moment determine your reality. And yet that was just a moment passing through. Everything's always passing like a stream. You have to always stay in what you want while processing what is. And meanwhile, you're always in the now. You're always creating from the now, in the now, for the now. Even the future is the now. When you live this way, you stop thinking past and future. Your future is here, your present is here, and everything else just flows right through you. That's all you really need to know. If anybody's really into manifesting or the law of attraction, just know all you really have to do is put all your awareness on the internal pattern of what you want. That's the images, the feelings. Love it, appreciate it, and let everything else, the physical world, your internal existing world, come and go like a stream. That's it. Just keep staying in a state of appreciation and receiving. But everything else has to be processed and experienced. Your body will start to create positive structural tension. It knows what to do to get closer to it.